What's up, everybody? I know I ain't made a video in a while. I'm going to start put out a couple of videos a week. Then I'm going to have one on stage sometime next month. But I wanted to talk about something dear to my heart. Now that I got older. It's called When a Man Finally Figured Life Out When He Grows Up. When you grow up as a black man, you realize nobody got your back. The woman you chose yesterday, you ain't gonna choose today. And more friends, childhood friends that you hung out back then, you ain't gonna hang out with it today. Because they can't respect you developing as a man, figuring life out. And I started to realize most people I was around was parents. At 16, 17, 18, they get a worse advice. They tell everybody how to be because they in surviving mode. Surviving mode is the worst thing ever, and I teach my daughters that. You don't want to be in surviving mode because that's the only way you think. Trying to get over or an angle or this and that. But growing up was the best thing that ever happened to me. I started sitting back thinking, damn, I'm around people ain't done none of the shit I done, but they giving advice. And growing up is crazy because you realize only family you have is your kids. I don't have close family that I can hang with because they live in the 80s and the 90s. Most of them didn't have male figures. Sometimes male figures in the house still ain't doing their job. But what I'm getting to is this. When people see you at your worst or heard you at your worst, that's what they remember. And then it might be 20 years ago. They don't even know the man you became. First thing you see them, I heard they said, nigga, how you doing? So I started realizing in life I like to be by myself and my kids because when God puts you in position, and sometimes when you look back and you hang with certain people, he pull you back where they at. But sometimes I had to realize in life, man, I like being by myself. Even with that podcast I started, childhood friend at 40, but he didn't know my passion, what I wanted for that podcast. I can't get mad at him. He's still looking at Jerry Hunter from high school. I done grew the fuck up. A lot of shit I just don't want to be around. And sometimes people don't know what happened in your life that made you who you are. You don't announce it. Some shit ain't everybody's business, but I've learned childhood friends and family members are the worstest people to be around because they won't grow the fuck up. I got a cousin, first time I said, man, remember you got caught jacking off when you was 16? Yeah, nigga, and I still jack off. So what's the big point? It's like that's why I say I do better with strangers that's doing the same thing I'm doing versus the people that think they know you. Because it's just like open up a restaurant. You open up a restaurant, take your friends and family members and see how long it lasts, see how long it's open. And even at your job, sometimes a person can get a promotion. They've been going to college while they're working, and all of a sudden they work with us. Now they become a supervisor. You know what happens? The people he used to work with hate him because they used to know when he used to steal out the vending machine or do stupid shit. Black people won't let shit go. They live in the 80s and the 90s and what their grandma and them said. It's crazy, but like I said, that surviving mode, most of them was parents as teenagers. I had my first kid when I was 28. So I had a little sense of what's going on in life. You don't know shit in those 16, 17. I met a girl one time and she said some of the craziest shit ever. She said, Jerry, I know how to be a good wife. I got married at 16 and my husband was 39. I said, don't you repeat that shit. Don't you repeat that shit at all. That's why I say we make dumb shit seem like it's real. And you won't know a person until you're around them. You can't be listening to other people. That's why I say in life it's crazy because I done traveled this world. I did this and that, but I'm around people who've been on the same block their whole life trying to give me advice. Sometimes you got to dumb down your conversation, act like you don't know. But it's crazy because I wouldn't want to have no kids 16, 17. My kids wouldn't have got the best of me. I'm immature. What I'm going to do with some kids? I'm 16, 17. I wake up 17, 18. My dick was already on hard. I'm ready to do something. I'm immature. I'm stupid. So men don't know when you had kids young and the mama's there with the kids, oh, she going to tell them kids that you cheated. You did this and that. So that's why when men stay with a woman 30, 40 years, they fall out of love, it's not good for him to stay. Because you're going to get sick one day. And all the shit this woman had told them kids, they ain't coming to the hospital to see you. That's why I say sometimes men don't realize when we immature, we have to apologize. And sometimes you got to get in your own space, have your own crib so you can talk like I'm talking. Because I got a whole lot of motherfuckers think they know me. They don't even know me. They probably a half a chapter in my book of life. I could care less. Because sometimes the woman tell them kids that you cheated. They don't tell the kids what they done. So that's why I say I've been in relationships. I don't even want to say relationship. People I knew that I dealt with, they put everything around my kids and one the mother. So this y'all, that ain't y'all auntie. That ain't y'all auntie. We don't play auntie. So they position all kind of people around my kids. So them people that think like them, my kids that think it's real, I had to get rid of that shit. Because I knew how they was to they dad. That's why I say I could roll along. I don't care because once you grow up, you have no more friends. Because they like you when you down. They like you when you don't know. That's why when you figure it out, you roll along, let phone calls, you sit back, and you do what you got to do. Like I said, I'm going to make a video on stage sometime next month. But I roll along, and I understand life now. It's better without the bullshit. So y'all have a good one. I'm going to make another video sometime this week. God bless you. Have a good day.